Hey guys, I am always getting requests for healthy, guilt-free desserts. So today I wanted to share with you a recipe for brownie bites. It has a secret ingredient to boost nutrition, but it tastes as decadent as a fudge brownie.
I'm Meg and I'm passionate about finding ways to make life with kids easier in the kitchen.
So let's go through our ingredients, starting with our secret ingredient, black beans. You'll also need some quick cooking oats, cocoa powder, flaxseed meal, cinnamon, baking powder, and salt, and then wet ingredients of maple syrup, some melted coconut oil, and vanilla. And finally, some mini chocolate chips, and today I'm using a vegan variety. So let's get started. I have my oven preheating to 350 degrees, and now it's time to make the batter. Now, my favorite thing about this recipe is how simple it is to make. I'm using a food processor. You can also use a blender, but you want to blend this really, really well, or else your kids will know that there are black beans in these brownies. So I'm going to start by adding the black beans to the bowl. Now, I've rinsed and drained these really well, but the black beans add tons of protein and fiber to this recipe. Next up, I have my oats. I'm using quick cooking oats today. You can also use gluten-free oats to make this gluten-free. I have some unsweetened cocoa powder. If all you have is sweetened, just reduce the amount of maple syrup you use. Then I have a little bit of flaxseed meal. Again, this is great for protein, fiber, and omega-3s. I also have my rest of my dry ingredients, so cinnamon, baking powder, and salt that I'll throw in there. And now for the wet ingredients. Today I am using some refined coconut oil, which does not have a flavor or a scent, but you can also use vegetable oil. Then we have a little bit of vanilla. And finally, some maple syrup for sweetness. You can also use honey, it just won't be vegan. And then we just need to puree the batter, and again, you want to do this very, very well. So the top on, and I'm doing this on high. If you're seeing large chunks of black, you know you need to puree a little bit more. So I've turned my batter out into a bowl because I wanted you guys to see that it actually does already look like brownie batter. It's nice and thick. It also smells like brownie batter, and better yet, because it doesn't have an egg in it, you can taste it, and I promise you it tastes just like brownie batter. And the next thing I need to do is add my mini chocolate chips, and again, I'm using a vegan variety today just to keep this recipe vegan. Now I'm gonna put my batter into my tin. Today I'm using a mini muffin tin to make these like 2-bite brownies. You can also just use an 8x8 pan. I'm gonna scoop them in, and I have greased this, by the way. And finally, an optional step, but your kids will really appreciate it, just some mini chocolate chips on top. And now into my 350-degree oven for about 10 to 12 minutes. So I took my brownies out of the oven after 10 minutes. I personally like mine just a little bit under-baked, which is totally fine. There's no eggs in here, and I just love the texture when they're a little bit ooey-gooey, and I'll show you what that looks like now. I'm just gonna go around the edges and pop one out. And I should mention I let these cool for 10 minutes. These came out looking so cute, they smell delicious, and they taste even better. I think your kids are gonna be huge fans of these, and you don't need to feel guilty about putting a couple in your kids' lunch boxes. So hope you give this recipe a try. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next week. Bye, guys. Is that for me? Is this bite for me?
No, no.
No, how about this one?
No.
No, no. What is it?
A brownie.
Is it the best brownie you've ever had?